tinfoil hat. Oh, what the fuck are you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
So, Mark, let me ask you something. Did you come to one of our shows at one point? I feel like you were either in Pennsylvania or you were at the Opera House that we were at. Did you ever come to a Tinfoil Hat comedy show?
Yes, I did. I came out in Pottstown, Pennsylvania at, I'm trying to think of the name of the venue, Soul Joel's.
Did we weird you out?
You didn't weird me out, no. That would be next to impossible to do.
Was that with the farmers?
No, that is where the farmers happened, but I don't think that was the farmer I think that was the one after it that he went to, and then the farmers were before that, in which the farmers stormed out of the show because we weren't talking about farming enough. And I was like, okay, I respect you, but we're all on the same side here. Can we just all be friends? Yeah, so that was great, man. I wanted to meet you after because someone said you were in the audience, and then then you were gone. You just you left, and I go, oh, we pissed off one of the OGs.
No, definitely not at all. I was I went actually into the Soul Joel's food area and had some dinner after that, and then went back home. But no, there was nothing. I'm not easily offended, believe me.
Thank God. Thank God. Things are starting to change in LA. I've seen it. Like last night we had a great show. I went pretty hard in the paint, and all Dana wanted me to do was go meet Blake Griffin. And I'm like, that's not how I operate. I don't go up to famous people, go, hey, I love you.
And then it was like, just go say thank you for coming to the show. And you were like, no. Unless he comes back here.
Yeah, he can come back here.
Dana wanted to talk to Blake Griffin. Is what that was.
Well, Dana wants to get him in the show. So, Mark, what's going on? How are you?
Hanging in there. Getting ready for a big seminar that I have coming up later in the year. Teaching my tech seminar called How to Become the True Media right now, which goes until June. So just plugging along and, still trying to get the message out, regarding what really needs to be done if we're going to make any headway toward real freedom. Just basically the same thing that I've been doing for the last almost 20 years. I've been doing this formally for the past 18 years, since about 2007, and informally for about 23 years, since about 2002 now.
Well, I was just on Greg Carlwood's podcast, The Higher Side Chats, and I made a statement, and I would love to hear your opinion on that statement, that I think at this moment, if we take away what we think Elon Musk wants to do, by the way, they're just totally going to freeze that on my hand thing, and I'm going to be like, look at hand signals. It's like sucks. I can't just talk with my hands. I'm Italian. But Johnny, edit that out. No, if we take away what we think is the end goal of Elon Musk on Twitter, if we just take that away, which I know is hard to do, but let's just play that game. If we take it away, I believe that Twitter is the greatest town hall square that we've seen in forever. Like you just watch people, they present their ideas, and then you instantly find out if it's a good idea or a bad idea, and you get pounded on if it's a bad idea.
It's funny, you're bringing comedy logic to whether it's because in comedy, if you get the response, that means it was a good idea. But in the real world, if you get the response, that doesn't necessarily mean it was a good idea on Twitter. Do you get what I'm saying? It could have a big pop, but it could be because you're an idiot.
Well, but you're told you're an idiot.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I just don't know if I don't trust the Twitter sphere.
Mark, what's your thoughts?
It's algorithms. You know what I mean?
I think X is certainly a dramatic improvement over what Twitter used to be before Musk bought it. But do I think that it's a place where like high-minded ideas are discussed and bantered about and given serious thought? No, I think it's like any other social media platform. It's full of a lot of dross. And most of the people do not have a high level of knowledge and certainly don't really understand the causal factors that have led humanity to the current condition we are at, and certainly also do not understand the requirements for real freedom. These are the philosophical ideas that I've been discussing for the better part of the last 20 years. And I'd have to be honest and say that I don't feel that humanity is any closer to understanding them. It's sad but true. I have to be honest with people about where I think people are at. It's very difficult from my position and point of view, having done this for so long in earnest, out of, just beneficence. Like, I don't have to spend the time that I spend researching what I research and presenting what I present. I could take my time and selfishly do what I want, but I've decided not to do that out of a moral obligation to try to educate and edify humanity. And I have to be honest and say that I feel like things were probably better back in like 2004, 5, 6, 7. And then after that, they went dramatically downhill. And, a lot of people came into the whole so-called truth and freedom movement presenting nonsensical answers and solutions that are popular, that people graft onto, that a lot of hits on social media get generated by, that a lot of monetary funds get generated by putting out. And that's really what the truth and freedom movements have become, as far as I'm concerned. They've become popularity contests instead of actual philosophical discussions about what is really required. I've done what I've done from a scholarly and philosophical perspective, and I feel like it's gained little to zero traction because people think that the answers lie in politics. People think that the answers lie in finance and money. People even think the answers lie in technological solutions. And the real answer lies in the ability to change one's mind and stop thinking thoughts that are inconsistent with truth, reality, and the true requirements for getting out of human slavery, which is the condition of humanity. And when people who really know the answers to those things, and there are people who know the answers to those things, these are not unknowable things. These are not things with questions with no answers. As I say all the time, the universe does not torment us with the unknowability of its workings. The universe has knowable workings. And the truly intelligent among us, with discernment and with the truth discovery methodologies in hand, if one truly knows them and knows how to deploy them, can come to the understanding of how things really work in nature. The universe doesn't create laws so that it can torment little human beings with the unknowability of those laws. The laws of the universe, the workings of the universe are knowable. And part of the problem is that, conventional wisdom in the world, put it forward by people who really aren't true thinkers, who are pseudo-intellectual thinkers, they try to make things dressed up and sound good, right? So they'll say things like, if anybody claims to have the answer, you automatically know that they don't have the answer, which is pure ridiculousness. There are people who claim to have the answers and they're incorrect. There are people who claim to have the answers and they may be correct. And we have to have discernment to know the difference between the two. We have to have discernment to understand that the universe does not have laws and workings just to torment us with our inability to know them. If we work hard enough and we really strive for the truth and get our ego out of the way when it comes to discerning the truth, we can come to understand the workings of the laws of the universe and then align our behavior to them and then prevent self-inflicted suffering, which is what really the whole human condition is all about. It's about suffering that is self-inflicted and 100% completely unnecessary. You know, the idea that there's necessary evil, the idea that, you know, we have to continue this way and this path and suffering's unavoidable. This is all nonsense. The problem is the human ego is in the way. The problem is that people want to hear what they want to hear instead of what the truth actually is. And absolutely above all else, human beings, and especially people in the so-called truth and freedom movements, because we don't have either. We have the illusion of truth and freedom movements, but we don't have actual truth and freedom movements. The people within these movements especially have not removed their ego from the equation. And then they actually want to point fingers at other people who have actually removed their ego from the equation and bent the knee to actual truth and bent the knee to the actual laws of the fabric of the universe, the actual laws of creation as put forward by the creator of the universe. People have gotten their ego out of the way to learn those laws and to try to bring the understanding of those laws to others. And most people just don't want it. They want to believe what they want to believe. They want to continue thinking the same way that they've always thought. They want to bring their nonsensical belief systems into so-called truth and freedom movements, and they're not changing a thing. That's why we're no closer to human freedom than we've ever been before. I think the sophistication of the slavery is getting more and more deep and sophisticated and playing human beings like a fiddle. And they're not able to see it because they're too entrenched in ego. And they don't want to listen to the voice of actual wisdom. They don't want to listen to the very few people. And again, I'm not going to paint with an enormously broad brush. I'll paint with a pretty broad one, but not an infinitely broad one. The overwhelming majority of people don't have the answers figured out, but there are some people who do. And those people are not listened to. They are marginalized. They are called names. They are told that they can't possibly know, that they can't possibly have the answers. And they get, shoved into the background of history. And people basically either never learn about them or think that they were some quaint, a little side effect, a footnote in history. And their words really aren't truly grokked, truly deeply understood. And that's what I feel has taken place with my work.
Well, let's get into that, Mark, real quick.
Don't make any bones about it either.
Let me promote you so people know, because you're on this beautiful rant. Right now, we're live from the Wise Wolf Gold and Silver Studios. If you go to samtriple.gold, use the promo code TINFOIL, you can get in on the Precious Metals game for as little as $50 a month. We're very honored to have this guy. I mean, a fire rant to open up the show.
That's good.
He's crushing it. We're, again, as we said at the beginning of the show, we're honored that he came and saw our show. But, I want everyone, our live show, I want everyone to know he is one of the OGs this whole thing. Please welcome to the show, Mark Passio. Mark, if you could, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, in particular, where our listeners can find you?
Absolutely. So the main body of my work is live on my website at whatonearthishappening.com. Whatonearthishappening.com is the place that you want to go for the main body of my work. I have a couple of other websites. I run a content creator network, which features over 75 phenomenal content creators from all over the world. That is known as One Great Work Network. And then I host a technology seminar where I teach people how to become content creators in their own right and teach them all of the technical skills necessary to put the truth out into the world through modern forms of media. That is known as How to Become the True Media. It's a seminar that takes place over a period of 23 weeks, half the year, from January through June. Enrollment for that opens every October I've moved it to the first half of the year, so enrollment goes October, November, and December of each year. So those are the three main websites that I run. But What on Earth is Happening is where you can find all of my work that I've ever put out for free. I don't charge for my work. The very latest thing that I do as far as like a seminar or a presentation is held on my gift area for about 90 days, and then I release it for free. So right now, every single piece of content that I've ever released in my entire broadcasting career is on my website, whatonearthishappening.com, completely free.
Well, I love it, and I love everything you're talking about. Real quick, if you want to see me live, I will be in Arizona at the end of the month. Then I'll be in then I'll be in Louisville, then Fort Wayne, Indiana, Tacoma, Washington, and some of those are with Eddie Bravo and XG, and some of them are just by myself. But go to samtriple.com events and grab your tickets now. I want to thank everybody who came out to see Tinfoil Hat. It was just a fire 3 shows in a row. And it just made me love comedy. And real quick, the Chaos Twins episode 2 is coming out, so grab your issue now. Mark, I love everything you're saying. I love it. I mean, that's why I just shut up and let you go, because you're talking fire. I want to get into the media, but it seems like a lot of what you're coming from is from a spiritual point of view. We say on the show all the time, conspiracy always leads to spirituality. Where does your journey begin, and where do you start to get into this spiritual perspective that you have that I personally believe in, and that is kind of how I live my life right now?
So I would say that my journey began with pure ignorance and stupidity on my part. That's what I would say openly. Okay, I was taught utter nonsense. I was taught garbage when I was young by family members, by school teachers, by friends, by family members, you name it. And that led me to believe in nonsense. And I started believing in the nonsense of organized religion, which will trigger a lot of people. Then I started believing in the nonsense of dark occultism, which I got involved in because I recognized the nonsense of organized religion and how it was a spiritual trap and a bunch of nonsense to control people's mind. And when I recognized that, I still didn't have any knowledge to counter it. I had just a bunch of anger and hatred over the situation. So I ran headlong into the arms of what I considered to be the polar opposite, which was Satanism. And I got involved in dark occultism, namely the ideology of Satanism. The brand of Satanism, because there are multiple brands / factions throughout the world that essentially espouse satanic ideology and doctrine, the brand that I got involved in was LaVeyan Satanism. Anton LaVey, the former high priest of the Church of Satan in San Francisco, California. I got into his work. I espoused his work. I started writing in small little magazines called fanzines, which were part of the underground art and music circuit at the time in the 90s. And he recognized my work. I not only did writings in these little underground magazines, but I also started espousing satanic doctrine and ideology through music. I had a death metal band at the time, and we really kind of defined the East Coast death metal style very early on. We were called Insanity. I was known as Mark Rokar back then in the satanic underground. And this is why members of the Church of Satan to this day will say I'm lying about my membership in their organization. It's because they're idiots who don't know that my name at the time, my assumed name was Mark Rokar. So to the people in the Church of Satan who want to say Mark Passio is lying about being a former member of the Church of Satan, go look up Reverend Mark Rokar and then tell me I wasn't a member of the Church of Satan.
Hey guys, real quick, I want to tell you about our friends James McMahon and Copy My Crypto. The crypto markets are on fire, so listen up. Guys, it has to piss you off to watch crypto fly up in prices for a decade and you still done nothing, okay? It makes sense. Crypto is complicated and it's really boring. Well, here's the good news. You don't have to know a thing about crypto to make the money like so many have. The CopyMyCrypto.com membership site shows you the exact cryptos that YouTuber James McMahon personally owns, which means you just got to copy him. It's like having a big brother who knows what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing about crypto or how to invest. You simply just copy along. So let me tell you about James. He runs the Crypto with James YouTube channel, which has over 50,000 subscribers. In the summer of 2020, he told his viewers to buy 26 cryptos. Had you put $100 into each one, it went on to be worth over $123,000. Of the 26 cryptos, his top pick, the one he singled out called Phantom, went up 692 times from when he said, okay, that one call alone retired a number of people, including guys in their 20s and 30s. Remember, this is public knowledge. You can go to YouTube and verify this yourself. So if you'd like to join the 2,800 members who copy James, then pause what you're doing right now and head over to copymycrypto.com/TFH. Okay, that's copymycrypto.com/TFH. That's TFH. You're not only find proof of everything I said, but my viewers get full access for just $1. Yes, you've missed out on Bitcoin, or you can keep buying some, okay? But there's over 2 million other cryptos. Do you really think you've missed out on all of them? Guys, don't waste any time. Go to the site and read it, okay? Once again, that's copymycrypto.com/TFH. It ended money worries for so many, it may just do the same for you. I want to tell you about one of my favorite sponsors out there, and that is Home Chef, okay? When you eat quick, healthy meals, there's no better place to go than Home Chef. Let me tell you about Home Chef. Meal kits often market themselves as easy meal prep solutions, but often disappoint with complicated, overlogged recipes that aren't worth the effort. Fortunately, Home Chef knows that struggle and delivers fresh, delicious meals that respect your time. Respect me. Respect my time. Home Chef delivers fresh ingredients and chef-designed recipes conveniently to your doorstep to simplify your cooking experience. Users of the leading meal kits have rated Home Chef number one in quality, convenience, value, taste, and recipe ease. Okay, whether you prefer meal kits with pre-portioned ingredients, quick 30-minute recipes, oven-ready options, microwave meals, or dedicated family meals, Home Chef has everything you and your family need for a hassle-free, delicious dinner. Home Chef has over 30 options a week and several varieties of dietary needs. So here's what we need you to do, guys. For a limited time, a very limited time, Home Chef is offering our listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life and, of course, free shipping on your next free box. Go to homechef.com/tinfoil. That's homechef.com/tinfoil for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. Homechef.com/tinfoil. Must be an active subscriber for the free desserts, okay? Don't try to pull something on our friends at Home Chef. Thank you, Home Chef, for sponsoring this show. What was that like to go from, this organized religion, whatever it is, Catholicism, Judaism, whatever, Christianity, to go to the exact opposite side of that? What lured you into that? Because we do see that happen a lot. The early years of this show when another guy was booking it, as I look back on it, it was very dark. I didn't realize how dark it was at the time because I just wanted to do a comedy podcast about conspiracies. I brought this guy on, he started booking some dark people on the show. And then Satanism is such a big part of our culture now. We see it in everyone just watches a Super Bowl halftime show just to see satanic symbolism so they could yell and scream about it. But what was that like going from, this kind of this Abrahamic. I'm assuming it's Abrahamic. I could be wrong. And then running over to Satanism.
My family's background was in Roman Catholicism, Christianity, and in hindsight, if I just would have really understood modern religion's roots in astrotheology, it wouldn't have turned into the kind of blind hatred that it did, because I would have had a framework of knowledge to unpack it with. I didn't have that knowledge at the time, so it turned, again, as I said, into a form of teenage angst hatred. And I said, I'm going to show these people who have tried to indoctrinate me into this nonsense that, I'll get into the exact opposite, when in fact it's not the exact opposite. It's a dialectic. A dialectic is a false choice presented to people to keep them in a state of illusion and slavery. Just like politics is. The left and right are false choices to keep people in the slavery called government and called the belief in authority, which is still what people in the so-called truth and freedom movements have not figured out. That the answer is individual sovereignty. The answer is living in harmony with natural law and objective morality, and understanding the true difference between right behavior and wrong behavior. See, the religion of the world is Satanism. It doesn't matter whether people consider themselves Jewish. It doesn't matter whether they consider themselves Christian. It doesn't matter whether they consider themselves Muslim. The de facto religion of the world is Satanism. If I asked people to describe what a rhino means politically, a Republican in name only, they'll say, oh, okay, it's somebody who pretends to be a Republican and really they don't have the values of a political Republican or conservative, and they put on a mask of being a Republican, but they're not really that. So they're a Republican in name only. Well, people are Christian in name only, they're Jewish in name only, they're Muslim in name only, etc., on and so forth and so on. The bottom line is the inculcated de facto religion of our world, of the planet, is Satanism. And the problem is people don't even know what Satanism is. They think it's the worship of the Christianized, hooved, horned, tailed deity in a red outfit called the devil that looks like a goat. And we're going to worship that entity. This is how childish, naive, immature, and brainless the overwhelming population is, that they actually believe that's what Satanism is, and that's what drives the rulers of this world. Some belief in some horned devil figure. It's so laughable that, it's sad. And they don't understand that Satanism is an ideology. It's a way of living in the world. It's a way of thinking. It's a way of relating to other people. It's a way of interacting in the world. And most people's mindset is firmly entrenched in Satanism. It's rooted in their mind. It's rooted in their heart. It's rooted in all their behaviors. They give their lives over to it without even understanding that they're a Satanist, because they don't know what the ideology of Satanism really is. They believe their pastor and what he or she tells them about what Satanism is. They believe their imbecilic family member who's a religionist and who tells them this is what Satanism is. I was a priest in this religion for years. And see, that'll disqualify me in most people's minds right off the bat, right away, right? That this idea, the height of ignorance, the height of hubris and ignorance is condemnation without investigation.
I love that.
It means that you're going to dismiss what somebody says just because they told you they were involved in something that you don't currently accept or believe in. And I don't currently accept or believe in Satanism. I came out of that trance fully and completely. I came out of that mind virus. The problem is people don't even know what that mind virus is, and they don't know that it infects them. They are de facto Satanists, meaning they're Satanists in deeds. In their behavior, in their thoughts, they're satanic. They don't have true goodness in hand. They don't have true morality in hand. They don't even know the difference between right and wrong, truly, definitively. They don't have conscience, the knowledge of the objective difference between right behavior and wrong behavior. Most people are inculcated into the mind virus called Satanism. And here's what the real ideology of Satanism is. And here's the thing. People don't want to hear this from a person who was in the clergy of this religion. I was an appointed clergy member because of my in-depth knowledge of this ideology. I was appointed that rank. I did not seek it out. I did not go to Anton LaVey and say, Anton, please make me one of your priests. I didn't do that. I read into what the ideology of Satanism was, what the entire thing encompassed mentally and behaviorally, and I said, I'm going to make this my essential religion. I'm going to make this my belief system and my ideology, and then I'm going to espouse it. I'm going to put this out there and try to get other people to accept it and believe in it as well. So I was a person who was ideologically poisoning people in my stupidity and my ignorance because I bought into something that sounded good to me at the time. And I admit that. I make no bones about it. And what I'm trying to tell people, what I've been trying to tell people for the past 18 years of my life, really 23 years, but in earnest 18 years, I have been trying to tell people that they are, in fact, satanic in their minds and in their deeds. They espouse this religion without even knowing that they espouse it. And here is what the religion actually is. It is not. And again, you can make this argument. Who knows more about the details, the ideologies, the practices, the rituals, etc., of a world religion? This is a world-renowned religion. Who knows more about it? An idiot who listens to what they think it is from somebody who also has never been involved in it and just thinks that they know what it is? Or somebody who was practicing clergy in this religion and ideology? And that's what I was. And I didn't seek out that position, just to be clear. Anton LaVey himself, when he was alive back in the late 90s, in the mid-90s, really, he died in 97. When he was alive, he recognized my writings and music. He had teams of people bringing him people who were espousing his religion and telling him, this person really understands Satanism. They'd be a good spokesperson or clergy member for it. He had a team of people that was looking in pop culture, looking in pop art and music, and then bringing LaVey people who they felt that his sub team of higher level priests, what they call magisters and magistras. They were basically bringing people to him, them alerting him to people who were really espousing the ideology. And I was one of those people that they said, you want to look into this guy. You want to look into Mark Rokar. Because I was espousing Satanism through my music, through the lyrics in my music. We were known as one of the top satanic ideology bands in all of heavy music, period. It didn't matter whether it was heavy metal, black metal, death metal. We were considered a form of death metal that was called blackened death metal. That's the genre that we actually kind of defined. Blackened death metal. It's not black metal. It is death metal, but it has elements of black metal.
What is
and so it's called blackened death metal.
What is the difference between black metal and the other metal?
Black metal is usually more melodic, a higher pitched vocals defined by certain beats known as black metal beats, whereas death metal has more choppy guitars that are less melodic and a thicker, heavier sound with deeper guttural vocals and I would say that's really the basic differences between them. So we were a blend, and we were called blackened death metal. That was the genre that grew up around the type of stuff that we did and espoused. So LaVey became aware of my music, and LaVey became aware of my writings. I wrote in fanzines like the Grimoire of Exalted Deeds out of northern New Jersey. It was just one of them, and many other ones, many other small zines, as they were called, underground magazines, basically stapled together paper. Some of them, they actually went and had them printed professionally, but they were usually just very inexpensive little tiny magazines that people would drop stacks of in music stores or art stores or forums, and you'd get writings about things that you wouldn't ordinarily hear about. And Satanism was one of them. And that's what I wrote about in fanzines that would accept my, submissions. And I wrote for many of them. And he recognized my writings, realized I was a good proponent for the satanic ideology. And then he wrote to me one day through his partner at the time, Blanche Barton, who was one of the people running the day-to-day operations of the Church of Satan. And they sent me an appointment to a priest, to the rank of priest. People hear this all the time, and they somehow translate this in their mind. Mark Passio says he was a high priest in the Church of Satan. I've never preceded the word priest when it comes to me with the word high. The only people who think that are high themselves on bad drugs, not even good ones. Okay. So, I've never said I was a high priest because there's only ever one high priest in this organization, the Church of Satan. There's one high priest. There's a council of 9 underneath him, who is a ruling council who makes decisions about the direction of the organization. Underneath them, there's magisters and magisters. Those are high-level priests that direct other priests. Then there's the rank of simple priest, which is what I was. Then there's the rank of simple member. I mean, you could say there's active members and just regular simple members. Some people make that distinction. I really don't. There's member, there's priest, there's magister, there's council of 9, and then there's high priest. That's the functional organization of the Church of Satan. That's their structure. I was a priest.
Satanist. Very organized. You'd never think that.
I totally agree. Yeah, it's incredibly
it's ran by white people. They're pretty organized.
Yeah, white people are pretty organized. That's a great point.
So LaVey sends me an appointment. I didn't beg him for an appointment to the Church of Satan. And then the next thing he asks is, will you head a grotto, which is what they call their covens, in the Philadelphia area? Because we don't have many grottos in Philadelphia. That's where I lived at the time. I'm now out in the suburbs a little northwest of Philly. But, he asked me to head a grotto. And I said, no, I don't really want to do that. I consider Satanism a very personal thing. I don't want to make it a group dynamic for me. Quite frankly, I don't want the responsibility. I wasn't making a whole lot of money at the time. Not that I am now either, but I really was hurting financially at this time. And I was like, I don't want to take on that responsibility of, having almost like a school for other people and directing them in this ideology. I'm like, I consider this very personal. I consider this just something for me. And he said, fine, that's fine. You could still take the appointment of priest. You can act in that capacity, meaning I could be a spokesperson for the actual Church of Satan organization. I was empowered to act as legal clergy. I could perform weddings. I could perform funerals in a legal capacity because this is a chartered religion, Mark, in the United States.
What about Satanism drew you in?
Great question. Pure egotism, because that's what it is. It's saying that the self is essentially God. And what we think is right is what we make into what is right. It's pure moral relativism. And I could go over the tenets, the basic tenets, which is what most people think. Most people believe that morality is relative. They don't believe morality is objective. And we should actually try to achieve an objective standard of morality that exists in nature. They think it's all relative and we get to make it up. And everybody has different morality, and it's just all relative and there's no objective standard. And this is one of the tenets of Satanism. The other thing that appealed to me was the pure egotism of it. The self is elevated to apotheosis, meaning you're taking the self and you're putting it on a pedestal and you're saying that's what God is. God is all about us. We're the highest expression of the universe and nature and intelligence. It's not up to us to discover the workings of the laws of nature. No, no, no. Human beings are the epitome of nature. We're the top. We're the top dog. There's nothing beyond us. There's nothing beyond our ego. This is how purely egotistical this religion is. And see, coming out of something that I felt, oh, this deceived me. Organized religion deceived me. And it did. I bought into nonsensical organized religious beliefs, got my hopes all up about how this was something good when it was really just another control system to direct people's minds and thoughts and put them into nonsensical loops of incorrect thinking, just like Satanism does. It's just another religion. I just went from one religion to another religion. I didn't go to the polar opposite. I didn't go to the solution. I didn't go to the answer. I went to another cul-de-sac, another big glop of nonsense is what I went to. And by my own admission, that's what I went to. I was fooled. I was duped. The difference between me and other people is I could admit that. Most people can't admit when they're duped and fooled.
People hate that. They can't admit that. And it's why they're stubborn and they're arrogant about their ignorance. And they won't admit. And that's a big reason why a lot of people hate conspiracy theorists. Because conspiracy theorists going, hey, man, you got fooled. You didn't catch this, and this is what's going on. People are like, no, I got a great BS meter. I know exactly what's going on, and you're full of shit. And they get really angry about that. So I totally understand everything you're talking about. What was the, and then I want to get back to what Satanism really is, but what was the average person you feel becomes a Satanist? I make jokes about it that, you know, they're all Dungeons and Dragons guys who want to hook up with fat goth chicks, but maybe I'm wrong on that. But like, what is the average Satanist like in your experience?
Well, number one, Satanism isn't one thing. As far as factions are concerned. And people want to lump things all in together and consider it one thing, which is a complete oversimplification. There's many factions within the satanic sphere throughout the world, the satanic network, if you will. Not all of the people are within the know about what really goes on at higher levels or how it feeds into government organizations and intelligence agencies and other types of secret society networks. The Church of Satan is not at a very high level of influence. It has people operating within it who are at a higher level of influence. But I am in no way saying the Church of Satan rules the world. If people hear that, they don't understand my work and don't understand what I've been saying. It's a part of a network that operates throughout the world, and it operates as a vetting and filtration system that are looking for truly psychopathic people to groom upwards into the higher level hierarchy and the higher level worldwide network of ideological Satanism. So this could include other organizations like the Temple of Set. It can include organizations like the Order of the Evil Eye. It can include organizations like the Temple of the Vampire. It can include organizations like the Satanic Temple, and on and on and on. And there's probably hundreds operating throughout the world. So we're not talking about one organization, number one. We're talking about a multi-tentacled octopus that operates worldwide. Secondly, then you have interconnections with think tanks, with international think tanks, okay? You get operations like the Bilderberg Group, like the Council on Foreign Relations, like the Council for National Policy, and many, many, many others. The Royal Institute for International Affairs. You name it. You can go on to the Club of Rome. Club of Rome was one of the big internationalist think tanks brought up when I was involved in the Church of Satan.
Really?
As a matter of fact, it was mentioned over and over again to me personally because that was the eugenics arm of the worldwide satanic hierarchy.
Wow.
And it was continuously mentioned to me because at the time, my mentality was I was huge into eugenics. I mean, I wanted to wipe out whole populations. I mean, seriously, I wanted to help them wage a eugenics war against humanity. That was my wish back then.
I gotta be honest with you, man. This sponsor hits home real hard because Daddy needs to take care of his hair, and there's no better place to go for hair loss solutions than our good friends at Hims. Let me tell you about Hims. Men, if you've lost your hair, doesn't mean you can't find it again. Try Hims hair loss solution, and you'll be joining hundreds of thousands of subscribers who found their hair again. Hims provides you with convenient and quality access to a range of hair loss treatments that work, all from the comfort of your couch. It's just that easy. Choose from personalized chewables, oral sprays, and serum treatments to find what works best for you. Answer a few questions, and a medical provider will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment is sent directly to you for free. No insurance is needed, and one low price covers everything from treatment to ongoing care. Hims has hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, and they can help you get your confidence back with visibly thicker and fuller hair. I am in, dude. I am so in. Okay, so here's what we need you to do. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/tinfoil hat. That is HIMS.com/tinfoil hat for your personalized hair loss treatment options. HIMS.com/tinfoil hat.
Results vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Prescription products require an online consultation and a healthcare provider who will determine if prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
What was your thinking of that?
My thinking was that there's way too many dumb people on this planet and they need to be exterminated. And I know I almost think that way still, but I have reversed my thinking on that. And I think there's still way too many dumb people on this planet, but they need to be educated. That's what I've dedicated my life to attempting to do. And it's one of the most difficult pieces of work there is to do because people are resistant to improving themselves. Yes. They don't want to improve. They don't want to. Dumb people don't want to become intelligent people. See, that's what I did. I was a dumb person, and I became an intelligent person, a highly intelligent person, because of the knowledge that I took in. And I took in knowledge obsessively. Not some little minor skirting the surface and just scratching the surface a little bit. I became a absolute hermit. I sequestered myself from all of socialization, from all society, to the point where when I realized what I was involved with truly, because when I first got involved in Satanism, it was just like this personalized thing to me. I want to gain the knowledge of the occult, and what they know and why they're successful. And I want to do that because I'm an egotistical bastard that just wants to get a leg up over my fellow man. That was my ideology. That was my mindset at the time, pure ego, and I've defeated that in myself. I'm not like that anymore. See, I wanted to get that knowledge over other people so that I can manipulate, so I could get my way, so I can get a leg up, so I can, be more successful. And then I wanted to help them do away with what they considered the undesirables of the world. And see, that's not really, truly improving anything. All that is thinking you're God, which is what Satanism is about. And then you're going to make unilateral decisions that negatively affect other people's lives and doesn't really improve the whole situation at all. All it does is it creates a dichotomy and a power differential, and you end up with a society of masters and slaves, which I never signed up for creating human slavery. A part of me wanted to get rid of undesirable people that I felt like they're the problem with the world. And stupid people are the problem with this world. The problem is they don't need to be exterminated. They need to be educated. And they need to take self-improvement and education seriously, because a dumb person is able to become an intelligent person.
Yes, I
Dumb
agree.
people are not locked into that condition for their entire existence. It is able to be improved with work.
Hey, yeah, I agree with that. And the problem is that so many people don't. They just want to take the first exit off the highway of life, and whatever that exit leads to is what they're going to do, instead of understanding that if they just work hard and focus and, you know, and try to gain knowledge to become smarter, there's exits down the road that will be much more fulfilling in their life. And yeah, man, I mean, like, trying to educate people is one of the hardest things, especially when you're along the lines of like a brand new conspiracy theorist. They just become like Paul Revere, and they just want to, you know, the Dark Lords are coming. The Dark Lords are coming,
Right.
and nobody listens, and they go crazy. They get so upset, and I just gotta tell them, it's like, that's not your job. You know what's. Again, going back to some of the things you said earlier, just like, for me, it's like the real way to change everything is to change yourself and be an example to others. That's the
right.
only way. And you can't save. I'm done trying to save people. I'm done trying to wake up. My brother, Dana, they're coming along slowly. But man, they resisted me forever.
But you're lucky if you get one like Paul Revere that's kind of gets woke and wants to wake everybody up. I have friends that don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They don't care. I literally tell them, like, watch this video. I'm like, no. They're like, no, I just want to watch sports, 9 to 5, take my kids to sports. And those are the ones that I kind of like,
Yeah,
come on.
I just got
I'm
to
giving
the
you,
point-
I'm
Those are the
giving
ones
you.
you want to kill those people.
Yeah,
right?
I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm giving you the playbook. Just watch this video.
They're
And like,
never
nope,
going to do it.
Nope,
Dude.
I'm all right.
You can't do it. You can't wake them. They have the right to march to enslavement.
It sounds a lot like NPC we're talking here.
Yeah.
We're talking
I
about
mean,
NPC.
there is something to that.
The problem with that is that they are dragging other people into that
I got you.
morass
Yeah,
with
yeah,
them.
Yeah.
So it's not really a moral position to say I want to remain ignorant. That there are things you don't have the right to remain ignorant of, and that's a controversial statement. There are things you do have a right to remain ignorant about. I can remain ignorant about how that fan right there behind me is manufactured. I don't need to know the ins and outs of that. That's not a requirement for understanding human rights and freedom. But remaining ignorant of human morality and how human freedom is generated isn't really a right, because you negatively impact other people's freedom, which is doing something immoral to them. And, you know, just to briefly talk about this term conspiracy theorists, it's one of the terms that I detest, for me at least. I never was a conspiracy theorist. I don't consider myself a conspiracy theorist now. I am a whistleblower. I was involved directly in my life with some of the people who are actively running this planet. Behind the scenes with them in satanic ritual homes and interacting and interoperating with people who are actively waging the eugenics operation upon humanity. It's not read about in book knowledge. I directly lived the experience in my life, which is why I detest and loathe the term conspiracy theory applying to me. If other people want to take it up as a banner, I don't have any problem with that. But I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I am not theorizing about anything that I talk about. I am speaking from my lived life experience. This is like saying to a person who actually fought in a war, let's say they actually fought in, let's say, the Iraq War or something like that. And you're saying, so you're going to theorize about your involvement in this war, right? They'd pick up a bottle, break it, and jag you with it in the face. If you said something like that to an Iraq War veteran, right. You're going to theorize about your involvement.
Right.
No, they were there. They experienced it in life. I was there. I experienced it in life. I'm not theorizing. I'm talking about my personal experience, and I'm blowing the whistle regarding it. I'm a whistleblower, not a theorist.
No,
I just want to make that perfectly clear.
I'm with you. I totally understand what you're saying. I do discuss the belief that there are people conspiring. then the
Yes.
reason I say that is because I've seen so many great people, and I'm not. And again, this is I understand where you're coming from on the whistleblowing stuff because I believe what you're saying is correct. But I got people like Jimmy Dore who I love with all my heart, and he's always like, Dan, they call me a conspiracy theorist, and I'm like, bro, you're letting that word get to you. You know what I'm saying? You're just letting it get to you instead of just owning it and just be like, yeah, I believe people conspire.
Absolutely.
This is like when I started the show, I was like, what is the most demonized term that comes when it comes to, conspiracies? And I'm like, tinfoil hat. I'm like, I'm going to name it tinfoil hat and just own the shit out of it. And, I got a lot of crap. People are like, no, it's got to go on your show. Now it's doing great. We got Mark Passio on. So, we can't be doing that bad, right? So,
Well, part of what people don't really study and understand is the origins of words. This is something that I go on about. The word conspire comes from Latin. And most people don't understand that like over 70% of English words are derived from Latin and other Romance languages, meaning that they extended out of the Roman Empire. So Latin is something that people should study to understand the origins of English. And I've studied it pretty extensively. So like the word conspire, con, the prefix con in Latin means it means together or with or alike.
Yeah.
Okay, so together. And then the second part of conspire, spirare is the verb in Latin that means to breathe or to have spirit or life. And that's what life really means, is to breathe, to have breath. If you're still breathing, you're alive. If you have the breath of life inside of you, you're alive. Okay, so spirit.
Is it like respirar? Wait, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Is it like respirar? Because the word is respirar, right?
Yeah, like respire.
Yeah,
to respire is to breathe.
I was saying,
yeah,
he's completely right. Yeah.
Point Xavier.
Yeah. So spiro means I breathe. Spirare is the infinitive, which means to breathe.
Yeah, okay.
So spirare is the Latin verb to breathe. You put that together with con in front of it, it means literally, if we want to take it from a very literal standpoint, to breathe together.
Yeah,
but what that means is the word right in spirare, respiration, to respire, to inspire, it means spirit. The English word spirit is very similar to spirare. So it means to have a spirit within you. That's what to breathe means, to be alive, to have spirit within you, active and operating within the body, the vehicle of the body. So literally conspiracy or to conspire means to operate together in like spirit. You're doing the same things in the similar spirit. That's literally what the word connotative, the connotative definition that comes from the etymology of the word in Latin. People don't look at these things. They don't study these things. Look at the word conscience, which I've mentioned before in this interview. Conscience means to truly know the difference between right and wrong. Conscience is knowledge. People think conscience is behavior. Conscience isn't action. Conscience isn't thought. Conscience is knowledge. It means that you definitively know the difference between what is right and what is wrong, between behavior that is a right because it doesn't initiate harm to other sentient beings versus behavior that is morally wrong because it does initiate harm to other sentient beings. This is what conscience is. And then break it down. Break it down from its constituent etymological root words. Con in Latin, we've already seen when breaking down conspiracy or to conspire. It means with or together. And then the word science, conscience, science. You spell it out. It's the word science after the prefix con. Science comes from the Latin verb scio, sciere. Again, scio is the first person present tense. Sciere is the infinitive, meaning to, and then the verb. So it means to know. And that's what the word science means, knowledge. Scio, sciere, to know, to understand, to have knowledge. Put it together with con, it means to know together. Everybody should know this together, meaning it should be common sense.
Yes.
Conscience is what common sense really is, the knowledge of the difference between true, right, and wrong.
There we go.
And
Bang.
do we have common sense? Does the public really know the difference between real, right, and wrong? We don't have common sense. We don't have conscience. That's why we're enslaved, because there's a direct natural law correlation in the laws of the universe behaviorally between morality and freedom. This is what I refer to under the banner of natural law as the law of freedom. And natural law doesn't mean Darwinism. Natural law doesn't mean survival of the fittest. Natural law doesn't mean rule of the jungle, law of the jungle. It means the objective, universal, non-man-made, absolutely objective and definitive difference between right and wrong, and this is going to ultimately govern the behavioral consequences of human beings and beings that have the capacity to truly understand the difference between right and wrong. It doesn't apply to the animal kingdom. They're beings of instinct, largely alone. Okay, if you don't apply natural law to animals in the jungle, animals in the field, beasts of the field, we're not talking about instinctive behavioral creatures. We're talking about creatures with a higher complexified mind and brain that are capable of having language-based discussions about morality. So natural law applies to those kind of beings, like human beings and or beings that are even more advanced than human beings. And it binds our behavior and brings us the consequence of the behavior that we choose through our free will and then put out into the world. And that's all you need to know, is that there's a direct one-to-one correlation between true morality and whether human beings are enslaved or free. This is the law of freedom. In the aggregate, as true morality is understood, and as it increases, and as human beings align their behavior to real morality, real objective morality, not religious morality, not subjective morals just grabbed out of thin air, real objective true morality, which is discernible and knowable, and we can truly understand the characteristics of moral behavior versus the characteristics of truly immoral behavior, as the morality of a whole group of people, a whole population of beings increases and they become truly moral people, they become truly free people. And as that population abandons objective morality and natural law, doesn't care about conscience, doesn't have the real knowledge of the definitive and objective difference between right and wrong behavior, and couldn't give a damn about that, all they worship is the dollar. All they worship is their paycheck. All they worship is whatever nonsensical crap sports teams they pay attention to. And they just live a selfish existence and they don't care about what is right and wrong. And they don't care about justice. And they don't care about freedom. They become more and more and more enslaved. That's the dynamic that is taking place every second of every day on this planet.
I agree.
It's the laws of creation operating in the largely unseen occult world. We can't look at something and see that operation. We have to discern the operation of those laws with our mind. And that's why the only solution is to change thinking. Thinking has to be changed. And you tell the average person in the freedom movement and the so-called truth movement, your thoughts must change. You must change your thinking. Your thinking is the problem. You don't have definitive right and wrong in hand. You don't have conscience in hand. You don't have the law of freedom in hand. You don't have natural law in hand. Your behavior isn't aligned to those things. You have just random nonsensical thoughts about what you think the solutions are. This is what the whole so-called freedom movement is. They're way off point. They're not even close to what the real answers are. Not even close. And it's disturbing. It's painful. I'm bitter about having done this for so many years and there not being any progress in it. And quite frankly, it's a massive disappointment. It's a bunch of people who should know better. and they're just a massively disappointing body of souls that hasn't really learned, hasn't set their ego to the side. And they want to say, and these people actually want to say, I'm in ego. No, no, no. I'm sorry, but I'm going to take extreme umbrage with that assessment. I'm not the one in ego. I've come out of the state of satanic ego, and I've dedicated my life to learning the truth and teaching it to the people of this world, especially the people in the freedom movement. And what they have said in no uncertain terms, in the most massive amounts, overwhelmingly, and again, I'm not painting with an infinity wide brush, but I'm painting with a pretty broad brush, and it's true. They've largely, to a great extent, told me to go screw myself. They're not interested in this message. This message has gained hardly any traction anywhere. And the few people with larger platforms who have brought me on to espouse this ideology, it's gone nowhere. It has not interested their audiences in any kind of a larger way. And then they go right back to talking about politics and finance. It's sad. It's pathetic, it's disappointing, and it's embittering.
No, I get it, dude.
That's where I find myself. I'm just being honest.
I get it. I really do. And I get it, man, because, you know, my mother, who I love with all my heart, I would die for my mom, you know. I begged her not to get the shot. Now she's having heart problems, clotting, and all this stuff. My brother, same thing. You know, my girlfriend, we're at the Super Bowl. We're at a Super Bowl party at our house, and she wants to start lecturing everybody on Donald Trump, and I like they just don't listen to me. But I Mark, you've been in the game for a while, much longer than me. I just don't. I'm done saving anybody. I'm gonna save myself, and you know they say 80% of the population is incapable of questioning authority. Yeah, man. I mean, these nerds and these NPCs are hurling towards us, towards a digital prison. My key is like, how can we set up parallel stuff and let you know, living out in the middle of nowhere on a farm sounds great too, but it also, I mean, we'll see what happens with that.
I don't think you could last all that long.
Dude, you don't understand how badly I do not want to be in LA.
I was about to say maybe the newer you, but like when I first met you, you couldn't. You had to be up and down, running and gunning. Maybe because the kids calmed you down, but
yeah,
back
and I'm
in your
You would
also-
have to find something else. You would have to find your outlet,
An outlet,
on
yeah.
the farm, though, like something that you.
No,
could
I
do
mean
in
what
the
I would
woods.
need. Anyways, I don't want to get too. I would have to live close to a big city where I could go in and get that, and then go where there's one traffic light. Like that's what I'm looking for. But
See, the issue is that we have too many people that are focused on external so-called solutions, where the actual solution lies in changing people's thought process. I tell people, and they have a difficult time hearing this. There's only one problem on this planet, and it's called religion. Because when you say the word religion, people are so mind controlled into the acceptance that all that means is Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism. That's all they think religion means. Religion is any system of thought that is contradictory to objective truth and nature. It is anything that goes against true objective reality and teaches you something that puts a virus of the mind inside your thought process that keeps snowballing out of control because you won't release attachment to it. And that's what the ego is. The ego is attachment to incorrect ideas. That's why I laugh when people talk about that I have an ego. I'm trying to help dissolve the ego in other people's minds. The ego is complete attachment to ideas that will get you nowhere, that will keep you spinning on the hamster wheel. Authority is a religion. The worship of money is a religion. Pure selfishness is a religion. Wanting to just be comfortable while the rest of the world suffers is a religion. There's an infinite amount of religions because there's an infinite amount of incorrect thinking that one could engage in. The real answer is we have to teach people how to clean up and correct their thought process and to truly use a vetted and knowably working truth discovery methodology, which is the real scientific method. I tell people understanding natural law is not a religious form of thought. It's a scientific form of thought. I'm a scientist. I'm a scientist who is studying laws that are embedded in the fabric of nature that are difficult to see with the eye or regular scientific measuring instruments. What they require to understand, to see and to understand them, to understand their workings, is a truly ordered mind, is true discernment in the operation of the mind, and to remove the ego, all of the wrong thought process that are just keep churning away in the mind and latching you to a prison of thought. This is what you have to get out of. And part of the answer to the whole thing is you have to become someone who wants to selflessly give of their time, energy, and effort to try to educate other people. And that is what some people are attempting to do. The problem is it's too few people doing that. Too few people dedicate their existence to truly trying to educate other people when it comes to not only what's going on this planet with the whole control system, but what the real answers are. So many people want to bring their religions into a so-called truth movement or freedom movement. That's why I say we don't have a truth movement or a freedom movement. We have an illusion of one. We have an appearance. We're saying, human beings are saying they want freedom. They're saying they want truth. They really don't want anything to do with true freedom and truth because it implies total responsibility. It implies actually sacrifice of what one wants for their selfish interests and what they want to accomplish in life. If I just left my whole life to my selfish interests, after I learned who was really running the world in the satanic hierarchy operating worldwide, and I became awake to that, what I would have done if I just wanted to dedicate my life to myself instead of truly dedicating my life to the truth and to morality and to educating other people in morality, what I would have done is say, it's not my responsibility to say anything about what I've just learned, about what I was involved in. And I'm going to go to the bowling alley and I'm going to practice and get better and better and better because I was a damn awesome bowler at one point where I probably could have competed professionally. And I would have just sat in a bowling alley drinking beers until I got really good and I probably would have went on the world circuit and won a whole lot of money. And that would have been Mark Passio's life. Dude, instead, I said, no, I'm going to expose this. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to tell people what I've seen. I'm going to tell people what I know. And I'm going to explain natural law and objective morality to them so that they can understand the real difference between right and wrong. And this whole movement, they've gone backwards. They haven't made any forward progress. They've dug a hole for themselves. They're further away from the truth than they were right after 9/11 happened. I wish we could go back to a big watershed event like 9/11 and something way worse than it, and maybe enough death and suffering will trigger people out of their nonsensical BS religious ideologies. That's what we need. I feel like we need unimaginable human suffering. It's the only thing that's going to take people out of their entrenched ego.
There is something to that. There is something to that it's got to get way worse, especially in America. America, I really do believe that people don't think anything really bad will happen here. And that they can kind of live whatever life they want to, and that war and death and destruction is a show on television. That's why I believe. Yeah. You know, I want to get into this real quick with you. When you talk about, I want to bring back Satanism a little bit. Mm-hmm. When you talk about it's a worldwide religion and it's not about the hoofed guy, Excuse me, ma'am. I'm so sorry. What about Baal? What about Moloch? These images we see throughout all this, through Hollywood. Again, we talked about the Super Bowl halftime show. We've seen that. Lady Gaga. I mean, there's a law now that Lady Gaga has to be in every Super Bowl. Like every Super Bowl.
So true.
It's so annoying. Like, why are you still here? And she had the famous Lucifer jump from the top all the way down, descending from heaven.
Some people get more for their soul than others. I'll just say that.
I mean, she's getting all the bang for all the buck.
I mean, you brought up the tennis player thing, how she crip walked and stuff, and I didn't know
Serena
that.
Williams?
Yeah, I mean, her sister got killed by Crips, and she's crip walking. It's.
By the way, did you see that picture of her husband after? It's
just
she's
so
crip
out of
walking
shape
for the culture, and then she's going home to this guy, the nerdiest white dude you've ever
Did you
seen.
see her ass though in those pictures?
Oh, dude,
my
I mean,
God.
she's got a peach, dog. I've seen it in real life. But the point is, Mark, back to this is, what about all that symbolism? 9/11,
Yes.
we see all the Aleister Crowley numerology and stuff like that. Is that Satanism that we're talking about? Like, I know you're saying there's not a hoof guy that is, I forget what religion that comes from, but is Satanism an ideology? You're not really worshiping a person. Because they always say we don't know who Satan is in the Bible, but I used to think it was Moloch because he wasn't mentioned in the Bible, but Moloch is mentioned in the Bible.
So
who is
there are a lot of symbols that they use to represent conceptual ideas within the higher levels of Satanism. And again, some low-ranking Satanists, they do believe in entities and demons and a physical deity of Satan. I'm not saying that doesn't exist in the world. What I'm saying is that's not the ideology that's running our world.
Okay.
They do have symbolism, and Satan is chosen as the archetypal symbol of the rebel against the Creator and the Creator's laws, because Satanists don't want people to follow the Creator's laws. They want them to invent their own laws. That's what Satanism really is: authority vested in human beings. If you really want to know what the religion of Satanism is, it is the Creator and the laws set forth into the creation by the Creator are not the authority of the universe. We are. Mankind is. And we get to make our own laws, no matter how in contradiction to the laws of the Creator our laws are. We're the authority, and we're going to make other people believe in our claim of authority. That's Satanism. Satanism is government. Satanism is authority, and getting people to believe that some people are authorities over others. There is no better definition of Satanism than that. And the four tenet or principal ideologies that it operates through are egotism, moral relativism, social Darwinism, and eugenics. Those are the operational ideologies of the satanic religion. And what it is trying to do is usurp the place of the Creator and effectively become God on earth. That is their long-term goal.
I get it. So, but when we see people, the Moloch, the Baals, the fallen angels, the stuff like that, what is that?
It represents being an authority over others. It represents godhood.
These
and
are
it represents
real entities. That's what I'm asking. Are these real
human
entities? Do you like get in? I know you say you've. I don't know where you are.
I don't see them as actual real entities in nature.
Okay.
I see them as being archetypal symbols for the destruction of the natural and replacing it with the artificial. I see it as being symbols of knowledge and using knowledge for the wrong reasons. That's what the light in Satanism always represents. That's why Lucifer is an angel of light. It's not an angel of darkness. It's the idea that we'll take this knowledge represented by the light and the sun, and we'll use it for our own purposes of control and manipulation, because we're using that knowledge to wage psychological warfare against a completely dumb population who doesn't even understand our methodologies. And that's where we're at in the year 2025.
Yeah.
People still don't understand their mind control methodologies. They still fall for their religions. They still fall for the belief in authority. They still fall for the belief in government. Just pick between brand of Coke and Pepsi. That's all. You got to just pick the left or the right. It's a taste contest. And, then engage in moral relativism endlessly. See, that's the thing. Nobody wants to really discover true objective right versus wrong. They want to believe all right and wrong are subjective. That's moral relativism. Again, egotism elevated to godhood. That's tenet number one. Tenet number two, there's no objective standard of right and wrong. We get to make that crap up. It's everybody can have a different morality. And we're just going to put our form of morality in place and call it law, right? That's moral relativism. Why can one behavior be done on one side of an imaginary line and the same behavior done on the other side of an imaginary line can result in you getting thrown in a cage for 10, 20 years? It's because it's all bull crap. It's all made up claims. It's all man claiming that they're God and that they own other people. And we can impose our set of rules on you and punish you. And over here, somebody can do the same exact behavior and it's just fine. It's all relative standards of morality that have nothing to do with right and wrong. That's what Satanism is. All government is Satanism. All government is Satanism because it's man saying, I'm the arbiter of morality. Man isn't the arbiter of morality. The Creator is the arbiter of morality. God is the arbiter of morality, and it's not religious. The universe is a created realm with laws. It has physical laws and it has spiritual laws. We are here to discern both. If we want to learn the workings of physical matter, we have to learn the physical laws. If we want to learn how freedom works, then we have to learn the spiritual laws. And we are doing a wretched job of learning those laws. Wretched. And I've been doing a phenomenal job explaining how those laws work and explaining their operation and explaining the difference between right and wrong and explaining what the polar opposite of doing that, which is Satanism, is. I've been doing a phenomenal job doing that for 18 years, and informally, in an informal capacity, I've been doing that for 23 years. To a higher level than almost anybody alive, if not anybody alive. And again, this population they're not interested. They don't want to know what's true, right, and wrong. They want to believe their nonsense of what they believe because they're Satanists in their mind and heart. They are de facto Satanists. They don't need to belong to an organization to be a Satanist. They don't have to be an avowed Satanist, meaning you don't have to proclaim that you are a Satanist. Your thoughts and behavior reveal you as a Satanist. That's why you take the mark of the beast in the head and in the hand. Your thoughts and your behaviors. That's where the mark of the beast is carried and shown and displayed.
I agree.
And that's what that allegory means.
Let me ask you something. So where are you now spiritually? Like, do you believe in a God? You believe in God's laws? Have you completely disavowed Christianity?
I don't believe in any world religion.
Okay.
All world religions are boxes of consciousness set up to control human thought. So this idea that you have to be a Christian or you have to be a Muslim or you have to be a Jew, I mean, people can just take that, shove it right up their rear end. It's garbage nonsense, all of it. All of it. Get as offended as you like. All of the so-called Jews out there, get as offended as you like. All the Muslims out there, get as offended as you like. All the Christians out there, get as offended as you like. Religion is garbage nonsense and has nothing to do with spirituality. They take the core of true spirituality and they wrap it in a bunch of nonsense. That's all religion is. It's a bunch of garbage and sewage wrapped around a tiny little pearl of what the real truth of the matter morally is supposed to be about. And that basically gets ignored, and all the nonsense gets paid attention to, because it's like a big hulking ball of crap wrapped around one little gem that got obscured thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago. And all of the people who continue to wrap on and latch on to this nonsense, what's in the way of them understanding real spirituality, which is all about, do you align your behavior to what's truly right and good? Or do you just believe crap? Do you just believe invented junk? Right? What's in the way of them really getting the true spiritual message that you have to align your behavior to what true good is, and not have your thoughts go into, I want to participate in a system based in violence. I don't care about what real right is as long as my interests are looked after, as long as my paycheck is signed and delivered. See, that's all most people care about. Are they fed? Are they clothed? Are they comfortable? Are they sheltered? Do they have money in the bank?
Yeah.
And that's Satanism. That's what Satanism is. A truly good person would say, I don't care if I have zero. I'm still going to align my behavior to what's right, even if it kills me, even if somebody kills me for doing it. That's what a true good person does. And we don't have truly good people because of religion. We have the appearance of people claiming to be good. We have the appearance of good, and we have people making claims of being a good person. The overwhelming vast majority of human beings are not good people. That's why we're an enslaved species. If we were a good people, we couldn't be an enslaved species. Only a bad people can ever become enslaved, because their behavior, their thoughts and their behaviors are completely out of alignment with true morality. And they don't want to listen to the people explaining to them what true morality is. They want to believe in moral, relativistic, religious nonsense, which is what all religions are, what all governments are, what all beliefs in authority are, what all forms of selfishness are, including Satanism. It's all essentially Satanism. Satanism is the one universal overarching religion of this planet, and almost every person in their minds and hearts and actions is a Satanist. De facto Satanism. That's the world religion.
Okay, so I have to just say this. I know a lot of people who are of many different religions that have kindness in their heart, goodness in their heart. They follow a certain religion. These things are, whether it's the teachings of Christ or whatever it is, they love thy neighbor. They treat people with kindness. They want to raise a family. They want to do all that. Why are those people trouble? Why are the people that I see when they get down to the families, they want to support other people. They like to do work in their community. They want to help other people. Why are those people bad people?
Because of what they believe and espouse for others to be allowed to do. They believe that some people are owners of others. That's what government is. Government is slavery. Government is the claim of ownership on others through law. It's saying a group of people can command other people, whether the command is moral or not. They can command their behavior. Command over someone else's behavior is the claim of ownership upon them. No one can logically dispute that if they're being honest with themselves. Authority is the claim of the ownership over others' behavior, and therefore it's the claim of the ownership over another's body.
Let me ask you something.
If you're being honest, right? You can lie and euphemize it and call it whatever you want to call it, but that's still a lie. It's not the actual fact of the matter in nature of what the behavior is and what the espousing mentally of that behavior is. Authority is slavery, and anybody who believes in it is a supporter of slavery. Can anyone who supports slavery in any capacity actually be a good person?
So
impossible. Logically impossible.
I have to ask you a couple questions. Mark, and I'm being honest here, and it sounds like it's me being like what's the word I'm looking for? Sarcastic, but I'm asking an honest question here. Mark, can you go, let's say, to like karaoke night and have a good time?
Absolutely.
You can just
because
chill out.
when I go out socially, I don't really engage in this because I know, number one, I'm around a whole fucking collection of morons, and apologies for the language.
No,
but quite frankly,
I want you to keep it
I don't
real.
expect one individual to have one thought in their mind when I go out socially to some bar, restaurant, nightclub, music venue. I expect nothing but imbeciles.
Okay. So
and
when
idiots.
you go there and you see somebody singing Living on a Prayer, you can enjoy their singing of that?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I love music. I
do
go
that.
see music all the
Bullshit.
time.
What's that,
I
Johnny?
couldn't enjoy somebody singing "Living on a Prayer." No,
You
no.
can't enjoy that? It's a great song.
Karaoke. No, that song's not a great.
That
song.
song's a great
Get
song,
out of
Johnny.
my face. No way.
Not when someone else sings it.
Especially not when someone else sings.
Okay.
Things that I won't abide is people coming up to me and like telling me what I know
Okay.
or what I've lived or what my experiences have been. I've almost gotten in fights in bars with people telling me, "Oh, this isn't how things work or go on, or you weren't around these people or did that." It's like, if you want to play that game with me, you're playing with the wrong person.
Respect.
Because I'm not about being told my lived experience didn't happen. You ain't saying that to my face.
I respect
Not
that.
without consequences.
And I, as somebody who has a view of the world that upsets people, especially when I got deep into it, I've always been somebody who questioned, what was going on. And then when you saw the Pizzagate stuff and people put hands on me and all that stuff, I totally agree with you. So, Mark, if I allowed you to snap a finger and you could make the world, now I'm not saying you're God, or I'm not saying you're a government, and I'm not saying you're an authority, but somehow you were bestowed the power to make the world in a way that you felt was more aligned with natural law than with what you see as a global satanic system. What does that world look like?
It looks like a place where people have basic mutual respect for the rights of other individuals and don't do things that trample their inherent rights. It's very simple. It's people willfully choosing not to engage in violence against other beings. And that's not that hard to do.
No, it's not. That's not that hard at all. It's not that hard at all.
The problem is most people don't make that choice. They make the choice for the continuation of violence. And that's what Satanism is. And by that standard and definition, the bulk of the people of Earth are Satanists. They believe in authority and they believe in the continuation of violence over others. They believe in slavery. This is a planet. I tell people all wrongs that can ever be committed against another being are a form of theft. All wrongdoings are theft. See, this is where moral relativism versus moral objectivism really can be understood and comes into play. In the Christian religion, what do they say the 7 deadly sins are? Can you recite them or say
There's
them,
gluttony.
the 7 deadly sins?
There's lust. There. What else is there, Johnny? Jump in there.
Sloth.
There's more lust. No.
I'll do them real quick.
Okay.
Pride, gluttony, sloth, lust, anger, jealousy, greed.
Okay.
Those are the 7 deadly sins in the Christian religion. Every one of them is an internal expression of the mind, but not a behavior against another. I could have lust for someone, and I'm not raping them. You could make the argument unchecked lust can lead to a rape, but it doesn't have to. Somebody can be extremely lustful and not go out and rape somebody. There's an internal expression of something that isn't necessarily a good form of thought, but it's different than an externalized behavior done unto another being. And this is where people fail at making the distinction and fail at the discernment of truly understanding what wrongdoing is. And see, if someone says, I think this person should be able to go out and rape this person, that is wrongdoing. That is espousing wrongdoing, and that in and of itself is wrongdoing. Espousing murder is wrongdoing. You're saying, I fully agree, that person should go out and do wrongful murder. So listen to what the real 7 deadly sins are versus the morally relativistic 7 deadly sins put forward by Christianity.
I like this. I'll listen.
Murder, assault, rape, theft, trespass, coercion, deception. Those are the real things that diminish and defraud and take away from someone else. Murder, theft of life without right. Assault, theft of well-being without right. Rape, theft of sexual association without right. Theft of property without right. Stealing of property without right. Trespass, stealing of security in one's living space without right. Coercion, taking someone's ability to make informed decision, taking someone's free will choice away from them without right, which is what all forms of government are, coercion. The threat of violence if you don't do what someone else commands, because they're claiming to own your free will and your behavior, and therefore, by extension, your body. And then deception, taking someone's ability to make truly informed decisions, but by consent, without right, but through deliberate, lying. That's deception. So these are all forms of theft. The goal, the true law of the creation is one statement: don't steal. Don't take that which does not belong to you to take. All rights are property rights. Everything that we truly should own is protected by our inherent natural rights. What we don't own, we shouldn't go and take from other people. That's theft. Whether it's murder, assault, rape, theft, trespass, coercion, or deception, they're all forms of theft. So it's very simple. Doing what is right comes down to one thing. Don't steal, don't take property from others that doesn't belong to you, and don't condone those who do that. Don't say that that should be done by other people. And that's what all government is. Taking that which doesn't belong to you. Trying to do what you want to do with other people's wealth and resources. Trying to do what you want to do with other people's time and bodies that created those resources, that generated those things. And then other people want to swipe in and say, no, we're going to take them from you without right and distribute them as we see fit. We're going to make arbitrary, coercive laws that you're going to have to obey because we're the authority figures. This is a claim of ownership. It's never been anything else but theft and slavery. Earth is a prison for thieves. It doesn't have to be, but that's what it is right now. Humanity, in their ignorance, in their nonsensical religious garbage thinking, and in their belief in authority, have created a prison out of the earth, and it is a prison for thieves that will remain a prison for thieves until people realize theft is wrong in all of its forms, and we shouldn't do it, and we shouldn't condone it. And we're so far away from that understanding. We are so sickeningly far away from that philosophical and spiritual understanding that it's absolutely laughable. It's tragically laughable. Tragically. What people believe is important and what people think the solutions are tragically laughable.
I mean, I love it. I love your passion. I often talked about that in terms of jail. Like, the only people who deserve to be in jail are people who commit violence and steal. Where the drug world, where drugs fall into that is a gray area to talk about. Because we've seen what happens when you just allow people to do drugs wherever they want. It just becomes chaos. Again, we're getting into, the uninformed, let's say. and how they act in life. You know, I agree with you, man. I'm all about limited government. We've also seen what happens when there's no cops. Complete chaos breaks out. So I don't know what the answer is to that. I want less government. I hate fee of initiation into anything, having to ask the government for permission to build on your own land, all that stuff. Exactly what Mark is talking about.
Well,
Exactly
taking drugs into one's body is bodily autonomy. That doesn't necessarily imply any chaos will take place. The imbibing of any substance is different than committing a behavior that is immoral while on the substance. Someone can commit that same behavior while not on that substance, or they could do it while on that substance. It has nothing to do with bodily autonomy of putting in your body what you wish or not putting in your body what you don't want in it. There are two separate distinctions, and that's what people have to philosophically be able to separate and come to a true discernment regarding. The behavior to put something in your body is different than a violent behavior done while on that substance. I could drink the same amount as a person next to me. They can go and commit a violent behavior, and I could just be totally peaceful. See, it all really has to do with what your pre-existing mental state is anyway. It's the same thing with cops. Cops don't prevent chaos. Cops show up after a chaotic act and a violent or immoral act happens and try to sort out what occurred and then get the responsible person. They don't prevent anything.
Well, they haven't figured out with drinking and driving.
They've never preemptively prevented one crime. Cops' job isn't to preemptively prevent crime. It's to show up after the crime is committed and then grab the responsible person. That's all they do. They don't change the way anybody thinks. They've never offered one piece of philosophy to change the way anybody thinks. Cops don't improve society. There's only two things that ever improve any human problem. There's only two things that can ever improve any problem that humanity ever encounters. Philosophy solves mental problems, and technology solves physical problems. That's it. There is no other solution or answer to anything. Philosophy is the very top solver, because without that, you can't solve problems of the mind, and everything is derived from the mind. That's occult maxim or dictate number one. Everything that exists is a result of mind, is a result of mental activity that manifested that into physical manifestation. And this is what people don't understand in the freedom movement. You're never going to change anything through externalized solutions. You can only change anything from the causal realm, which is the realm of mind. You can only ever change things that are going to happen in the future by changing what is happening in the thought process now in the present. And people don't understand this occult principle at all because they don't understand the occult at all. They don't study the teachings of occult knowledge. It's not all bad. That's just dark occultism. As a matter of fact, it's the same knowledge. It's the exact same information. Positive usage of the occult and negative usage of the occult. It's all the same knowledge. The problem is people don't understand any part of it. They don't understand going through a process of personal, spiritual, mental alchemy. They're not striving for self-improvement. What people are striving for is comfort.
Yeah.
Comfort doesn't create self-improvement. It makes you weaker and weaker. You have to have an uncomfortable situation that you sacrifice for to have mental improvement. You don't go to the gym to be comfortable. You go to the gym to put stress on your muscles, to build them so that you can become stronger. You don't practice martial arts to be comfortable. You practice martial arts to be able to get hit and know how to hit somebody so that you can defend yourself when the time comes. It isn't comfort. It's not comfort. It's discomfort that makes somebody stronger. Human beings don't want truth. They don't want responsibility. They don't want freedom. We are a conditioned species that wants nothing but comfort. And that makes people weaklings, which is what most people are: lazy, bum weaklings. They're lazy, bum, ignoramus weaklings who do nothing, who sit on their ass all day, who talk crap but don't actually contribute to the solution. and who aren't doing anything to actually change people's thought process. They're rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic by focusing on all the physical analysis. You can analyze the physical from now until the end of the universe. It's never going to change anything because change doesn't happen from the physical. That's the manifested level that occurred that way because of prior thought process. The only way you ever change things is to change current thought process. So when it becomes future thought process, it manifests something different. We're not trying to do that in the so-called freedom movement. We're trying to rearrange the deck chairs on the Titanic by constantly analyzing the 3D physical results. No change can take place there. It's people, it's what it is it's dumb people screaming at a movie screen. They're in a theater and they're screaming at the screen, beating on the screen. I hate this movie. I want it to change. I want the thing on the screen to change. And they're screaming at the screen. This is how dumb the whole population is. Not realizing it's already done. It was shot, it was filmed, it was cut, it's edited, it's on the film, and it's being projected. You want something different to happen, you had to make a different movie. And that's happened in the thought process in the past. You want to make a different movie in the future, you got to change the thought process that's happening now. And this whole movement doesn't get it. They're probably never going to get it. This species is going to be destroyed and deserves its destruction. I've put out everything that I need to put out. I don't need to say another word ever, ever. I tell people my work is there at whatonearthishappening.com. It's the best solution you will ever come across, but the individual has to work to understand it. The problem is most people are too dumb to understand it. Quite frankly, that's not my ego. That's not my ego talking. Their ego's in the way. That's what keeps them dumb. The out-of-control ego keeps a person dumb, keeps them ignorant to the real solutions, and makes them think nonsensical solutions are the answer. When I've handed this to people on a silver platter, and their ego has come along, knock that crap out of your hand, boy. I don't want any part of that. I know better, even though I've looked at 0% compared to what you've looked at. Absolutely nothing is what people have looked at. They have no depth of knowledge. They have no knowledge of the occult. They have no knowledge of the natural laws of the universe. They have no knowledge of behavioral laws and how that affects human freedom. Absolutely zero. Never talk about it. Never discuss it. I watch endless hours of alternative media from every conceivable source. The word morality is almost never mentioned. Natural law is almost never mentioned. Because people think they know better than someone who has become truly holistically intelligent when they have looked at no part of it and have remained a dumb ignoramus. That's what this whole movement is. I'm sorry to have to report and say it in such a flat out way, but that's the truth of the matter. And the bottom line when it comes to me and my work is I'm fine. I've aligned myself to the Creator's laws and morality. You don't have to worry about Mark Passio. Mark Passio is going to be just fine in this reality and wherever I'm going next. I'm just fine. It's not a problem with me. My ego is not the problem. I got my ego out of the way. The average moron in the freedom movement hasn't gotten their ego out of the way. They've dragged their ego and their nonsensical bullshit religions into this movement with them and think that that's how any change can happen. And they're delusional. It's a bunch of delusional people. I've put the work out there. It's there at whatonearthishappening.com. It will be there. That's what I did. I created a permanent record, put it there for all time for people to see for as long as the internet exists. And what will be my vindication will be time. Time will be my vindicator. I'm not under any delusion that the dumb population today will listen, will comprehend what I've said ever. Not while this incarnation of humanity is going on. I'm under no delusions regarding that. I know how egotistical and how satanic the population is, especially in the freedom movement. They're way beyond even the average dolt. The people in this movement are beyond the average dolt dunce in the regular population. So what will be my vindicator and what will show that I've spoken the truth since the very beginning of my work is time. Time is on my side. Time is on my side.
He is Mark Passio. He brought fire today, pulled out the guns, killed everybody. I appreciate you, Mark, coming on. Mark, tell them one more time where they can find you.
What on Earth is Happening is the main repository of all of my work. It's all free. If you want to learn, if you want to really know what's really going on, start at the podcast section, show number 1, go through all the podcasts all the way through, go through all my presentations and lectures and seminars. It's all there for free. Every interview I've ever done is all up there for free. To not avail yourself of that just means you really don't want to learn what's really going on. And if you really hear, if you truly discern and hear what I have been saying since the early 2000s, you will understand I've been giving it to people straight, and I've been telling them the real solutions from day one. WhatOnEarthIsHappening.com.
He's Mark Passio. That was fire. Let's break it down. All right, let's get into it. Let's
go.
No,
that was that
This
got
doesn't
me
make
off.
any
I did.
sense.
Yeah.
It's just
doesn't make any
awful,
sense.
dude. You don't make any sense, Johnny. You know what made
Let's
sense?
rock.
Mark Passio crushing it, coming in, guns a-blazing,
Dude.
Little
going
behind the-
hard in the paint.
You want a little behind the scenes, by the way? He mentioned he worked on zines. We were considering doing one for this show at some point. I
A
think we still
zine?
might. Yeah, a zine.
I'd love to do a zine.
yeah, well, I had it. I was working.
I mean,
on
I
it.
won't do anything on it, but I would love to have one.
Well, me and next year will do all the work. No, but then you start doing the comic book thing, and I was like, it's kind of the same thing.
It's
I
not.
thought- well, but I feel like it's going to take away from that market.
Okay.
People might spend money on your comic
Let's
book.
go, bro.
So
Let's
we'll-
go.
We'll wait and see if that
Let's
ever...
do it. Let's go. Let's
Concludes.
go. Let's go. Intense episode. Mark goes hard in the paint. Had some great points. I hope he didn't get offended when I asked him the karaoke question. Just because I think the key to everything, and he says he is, so is that you have to be happy in this world. If you're trying to, wake people up, you have to be happy in that so that you, enjoy life. What's the point of saving everybody if you're not going to enjoy life? That's what I've always said.
Agree.
So that's why I don't get in fights with people, and I don't care when everyone's like, no, dude, that's not real. I go, okay.
What? You said you don't get in fights with people? What did you just say?
Well, I mean, not in like trying to convince people of something.
Okay.
I had a show where I did that, but that's the only place.
Yeah, I mean, it's your show, so you can say whatever you want on here, but that's not true. You
Like
don't get in
what?
fights with people.
Explain.
I mean,
It's not your Twitter
Just
fights.
scroll through your Twitter, and you get in fights with people kind of as almost like a profession. Like, that's your job, you would
Yeah,
think.
but I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm just telling them shut up.
Okay.
But that's not really like getting a fight over what's true and what's not true. Okay, Johnny, you're right. I do. I get it.
Well, no.
Yeah,
In Sam's defense, I've never seen him argue in person.
What?
Thank you.
I've never seen him argue in
In a
person.
long time.
No, yeah. I'm sure you have like a.
I'm sure
a
like
punch
way
drunk.
back in the day.
Yeah,
So
but-
you haven't had an argument with anybody today? Like Dana, for instance?
No, I'm talking political.
Oh, Johnny,
I'm talking
shut up.
You just said you were trying to get her to back off at all this crazy Democrat stuff right before we started recording today.
Yeah, but that's different.
That's
Oh,
his
okay.
girl. That's his girl.
That's your
too.
girl. You
gotta-
live together. We've been together
Yeah.
22 years. She's like, call me all the time. Call me. I go,
Just
I like the
text me.
text. Leave
Just
me alone.
text.
Okay, I'll see you in 6 hours. Leave me alone.
Dude, I've started doing that now. People call me. I was like, why couldn't you just text me about this?
Yeah.
I just say it.
Yeah. We got in fights on another show because of somebody. Just call me. Talk to me like a man.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Okay. You're not using my preferred form of communication.
Yeah.
It was the phrase that was used. Huh?
It was a great show. It's an intense show. And I hope you got something out of it. I know I did. I think like the seven deadly sins. I liked his revision of that.
Yeah, that's not really in the Bible. Like they're spread out through the Bible. There's nowhere it's like these are the 7 deadly. It's not like the 10
Oh,
Commandments.
really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, they're listed different places as sins, but it's not worded exactly as it is, and it's that's not in the Bible. Like
It's so funny. Nick Swartzen way back in the day had a joke about how you never meet a former Satanist.
Now you do.
Now you have. Yeah. Now you have. Bang, bang, pow.
So, what percentage Satanists are you? Because you said we're all Satanists. You think there's any percentage in everybody? A little bit?
I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. I'm against government.
You're a Satanist, yeah.
You're a Satanist.
If I'm against government?
I guess so. I don't know.
I'm just trying to say I'm against government, so I'd like to say I'm 0% Satanist.
Anyway. Yeah.
I believe in natural law. I believe in everything you say.
Elon Musk is a Satanist, probably. I feel like Elon Musk is probably a Satanist. Like, if he just seems to be like he would be into that, all his black that he likes to wear and the goth
all
stuff.
The blacks that he likes.
Oh, yeah, he loves blacks. Yeah.
He does love
Did you see his kid in there with Trump, like, talking to Trump, like, telling him to be quiet and stuff? It was fun.
Told Trump to be quiet?
That's what I read. I don't know if that's real, but...
I also read that he told the president that you're not my president or something like that.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
Johnny said that?
No, Elon's kid said
his
that.
His kid.
Yeah,
it could be they're memeing it. I don't know. But
yeah,
apparently he was like talking the whole time. His kid was. I don't know why he brought his kid in there. Probably trying to humanize
I'm
himself.
with you, dude. I'm with you. I just love. It was a great episode. It was very intense. He was intense, and I like that about him. And I hope you guys will give his website a chance and check it out, and look more at the content of it than maybe his presentation, which is great to someone like me. But I could see how some people would be a little weirded out by him calling everybody retards. Or he didn't say retards. But
no, he did. He said Musk's 4-year-old son tells Trump, crowd, shut your mouth. That's what he told him. So he told the Trump crowd, like people out there, I guess, he was telling them to shut up.
Yeah, listen to the president. But whatever he said are buffoons, whatever, So I thought Mark was great.
Yeah, you do wish that he would...
He's been doing it a while. We can't tell him to do anything.
He's jaded, right? He's jaded. Like,
whoa, Johnny, your words, not mine.
No, I mean, you can tell. I think he would say that. He is...
he said he's bitter.
Yeah, well, that's what I just said.
But what I'm saying is, I personally, just me, think there's people out there that follow Jesus. There's Jews out there. There's Muslims out there that just want to live their life.
Yeah.
And they treat their neighbors with kindness and love and all that stuff. I don't necessarily see them as dark forces.
Yeah, I guess he's got the opinion. He's of the opinion that it's your responsibility to know what the right thing is, and to seek it out. And if you haven't done that for yourself, then
yeah. But what if I live that anyways?
Yeah.
What if I don't murder, I don't steal, I don't coerce, I don't do any of that stuff?
Yeah. I don't know. I think he would say that belief system is inconsistent. Maybe with that.
I don't know. It was a great show, though. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
What I forgot to ask him is what made him leave.
That was a great. I can't believe I didn't ask that.
I literally skipped my mind. I just want to know what made him leave because it must have been something.
God, you must be out of shrooms.
Yeah, dude. I'm out. Send me some more. I need.
They're on a delay, aren't they? Because you should ask that 90 minutes ago. It would have been.
Guys, if you go to samtripoli.com, wonderful things are happening.
Wonderful things.
Wonderful things are going. Again, see me live, Phoenix, Arizona, coming up. I think it's this week. Louisville, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Very excited about Tacoma, Washington, and Tacoma, Washington. What it is there's going to be one night of Tinfoil Hat comedy. Then the guys are leaving, and then I'm doing the weekend, but in the smaller room, which I'm excited about. Go to samtripoli.com. You see all the new. By the way, everybody loved the go up. Everybody loved the Dustin Numos episode. Everybody loved it.
Dustin Nemos, yeah.
Dustin Nemos. Everybody loved it. So good for you, dude. Crush Fest. All Sam's episodes, all my premium content there. Dude, you're getting I'm going to do some tonight. All this premium content, all you could ever want. is just bang, bang, pow.
Tell them about your doom scrolling. I caught you live yesterday.
What'd you think of it?
It was good. I love
It's
the
a
little
good
scrolling
show.
thing. It's random.
It's random. I have to be more selective with the videos a little bit.
What do you mean?
I decide I'm going to pick the first video out just to set the precedence.
So he does a show where it's doom scrolling. I'm sure he picks which videos are going to come
I
out
don't-
eventually, or someone picks them.
The
but there's-
wheel does.
or the wheel does, and then you just get a random one, and then it gets them in this. You know how Sam is. You just need anything, and then all of a sudden you're down this rabbit hole on a tangent.
Yeah,
on a
you're
rant.
really leaving it to fate, aren't you?
Yeah, we really are. We really are. Go to samtruly.com. Cash Daddies, Johnny, talk about it.
Oh, how he's been killing it. The volatility from caused by the tariffs has really created some wealth-making opportunities. Let's say that, and the community there is fantastic. It's a large and really positive, I would say, group of people, who are just contributing ideas and having fun. It's a great place to hang out.
Everyone's loving it. Go to Cash Daddies, get in on the action. Go down a little bit. No, go to Sam. Yeah, go down. Chaos Twins, we're working on that. Our second one, we're working on the animation's going to start working as well.
Nice.
So go check that out. Go down. Okay. Lots of stuff. We also, I'm proud to announce, we're working with Pat Militich and Dr. Will.
Oh, nice.
Their banner will be up for their supplements to help you to de-metal, what is it called? What were they doing? They were
Blackened metal, was that it?
no, not black and metal, but
Like detoxify.
detoxify. So those will be up soon. By the time you hear this video, hopefully it will be up. But gold and silver, Rife Technology, Aquacure Hydrogen Brown Gas, it's great for you. Harley Ray, we love them. Go check them out. Again, chemical-free body. I finally have some time. I'm going to work on my own supplements there. Joel Staley, we've shown it on the show. People have lost up to 40 pounds working out, being in shape. EMF Rocks, tinfoil hat, Prometheus. Dude, EMF Rocks is dirty electricity. You need to learn to fight that shit. Prometheus is a decentralized website. I tell people, if you're living in the danger zone, decentralize your website and decentralize your premium content so you're not waiting for Patreon to just take you down.
Yeah, don't be like Kanye West without a website.
If you love,
Yeah, boy, he got
he got murked.
I sent
Brain
I sent-
Supreme.
yeah, it was-
If you love XG,
Don't
and
trust Shopify.
we got a new link. I'm getting that put up and check it out. Get it
a
going.
new link to what?
New link. He's gonna do a permanent affiliate program.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And there we go. And then just all the different groups you can join on Sam Tripoli, all the different audio. I got to add doom scrolling to that link. And then go down. Radio. Hey, if you want radio every day, Sam Tripoli, multiple radio shows. Anything else?
Hit that like button, subscribe, and go check out We Don't Smoke the Same. I just did an episode by myself, no E-Zone since season.
Whoa!
Yeah, by myself, handled it. So go hit that like button.
Wow.
I know, big boy shit.
Amazing, Johnny.
Come check me out on Instagram, Johnny A. Woodard. I guess I'm gonna have to start doing stuff there because it's still no.
Make a new one, Johnny. Just make a
I
new
know,
one.
but
Or
I feel
just
like
take
that's
over the
giving up.
Broken Sim one.
Well, I mean, I tweet from there, but that's for Broken Sim. I mean, I feel like that's.
Just take the Broken Sim one.
I don't want. I'll start a new one if I have to. But
well, we'll make sure to pump up the. Well, I tell both
so
you
annoying.
freaking retards.
A link tree.
A
I
link
don't
tree.
need a link. I got two things. That's it. It's Broken Sim and my name. You can find me.
Okay. All right, guys. Enjoy these highlights.
Here's a clip from the latest Broken Sim.
She flew to Pakistan for an online boyfriend.
Dude, this is the funniest story I've ever heard.
Got rejected, overstayed her visa, and is now demanding $100,000 from their government, claiming she wants to rebuild the country. This is the video that this woman, again, I got a story about it here too. This is from something called the International News. It says, American woman abandoned by Pakistani lover demands $100,000 to go back. She made this.
How bad do you have to be for a guy in Pakistan going, no, no,
Really, dude.
You are too much.
She made this demand during a press conference on Friday, which we're going to watch right now. Here it is on.
By the way, what is she dressed like? A Teletubby?
No, that's not her.
Please sit down.
Be quiet. I'm not sitting down.
Please have seat.
My plan is to reconstruct this whole country, okay? I'm asking for 100K or more. I need 20K by this week, okay? In my pockets, in cash, okay? That's a demand to the government. The government is gonna fix up these buildings, fix up the streets, and clean up these streets. It's ridiculous out here. I do not like it. Okay? Lock him up.
Right now.
Right now, I'm going to mind my fucking business. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Clear the way.
Okay.
Dude, this is what happens when American women think everywhere is America and they can just get away with shit because they'll just get lawyers and then they go somewhere else. Like, dude, I'm surprised they haven't stoned this woman to death.
To be fair, they gave her a table with like what? Look at all the microphones on that table, dude. There's like 20 microphones. What did they think
this
they were
guy
doing there?
got himself an American chick and she was too sassy for him.
Too sassy.
Can't handle it. Welcome to being an American man.
You got to watch.
I had a birthday party today. I was talking to a friend of mine at the birthday party, and I was like, dude, it's so hard to be a dad now. He goes, I know. It's like you have so much more expectations. Like when our dads would come home, it's like, Dad just got done working. Leave him alone. He's
Stay
tired.
out of his way. Yeah.
Not anymore. Dad comes home. Help me with the kids. I'm tired. I'm tired.
Yeah, dude. We were just happy.
We lost.
Not to get yelled at. You know what I mean? Just
we lost.
Stay out of the way, bro. The American woman, 33-year-old Anya Andrew. Her middle name is Andrew, by the way. Isn't that strange?
Yes.
Anya Andrew Robinson. You know what that was, right? She had a dad who wanted a son, wanted to name him Andrew.
That's probably why she's crazy.
Yeah, and she
remember
was like,
that?
put it in middle name.
Doesn't she look like those? You remember that old fable about the two toads? You remember the books? What were those called?
The Toad and the Frog?
Yeah, she looks like the toad and the frog.
Yeah,
By the way, who else she look like? Baby Godzilla. Look at her.
really
Doesn't
does.
she look like Baby Godzilla?
Look at her, dude. She really does, bro. Anya Andrew Robinson made the unexpected money demand of $100,000. She says, we already saw what she said. Give me the money. Government should give me $100,000. And so what happened now is the government is begging this guy to come in here and talk to her so she'll leave, basically. Because she's saying she's not going to leave until he comes to talk to her. But their whole family moved, bro, from where she was like trying to meet them. Like she met them or something like once at an apartment and then they just disappeared. And the government is begging them, and this guy specifically, to come back and talk to her so she'll just get out of the country.
Why don't they just throw her on a plane?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's
I mean, if Spirit Airlines can throw chicks off, why can't Pakistan throw chicks on a plane?
What's worse, snakes on a plane or Anya Andrew Robinson on a plane? Which
And dude, 100,000, that's all you're asking for? I mean, to us, that's a lot of money.
Well, she said 100,000 or more, to be fair.
Or more. I love that. Or more.
Yeah. Clearly, she has she's like USAID, you know, with her budgets. This is going to seem like we're picking on a certain demographic here, but this is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. You know, we had that woman a couple of weeks ago who was suing Lyft for.
Now there's all these copycat people.
Yeah, saying she was too
I'm
fat.
fat as fuck, and I'm going to sue people for it.
Well, now this is another guy now who won't let a woman get in his car because he claims that she's too big for it. That it's going to jack up his sensors in his vehicle is what he tells this woman.
Yeah. Uber's going to start putting weight on their thing. Right?
All the things is big now.
I can fit. We're gonna make it work.
We can't. Sorry, we can't. It's not because I just changed my tire. My suspension. I just changed it.
Drive off.
He's driving a Chevy Spark.
For my flight.
I get that.
We have to go.
These small cars, their sensor. Once anything is out of whack, the sensor will start going
He's
up.
trying.
Between the sensor and the suspension that I
This
changed.
is a car. It's made for people to ride in.
No, people can ride. Like 3 people can fit in here. But
So you're telling me 3 people can fit in here, but I can't fit in
Yeah,
here?
basically.
no, but all people are now created equal
Yeah, you're
now.
fat.
What?
No, it's not. Believe me, because they have police
The
checking.
skinny
they've
friend
been
with the
doing
fat
traffic
ass can
enforcement.
get in, but you can.
What
By the
I'm
way,
saying.
African guys are way
Put
different
my
than
bag
American black
in
guys.
the car.
No, it
We
won't
have
fit.
to
No
go
tax.
now.
I can cancel the ride for you.
We
see.
have to go.
I can.
But you saw the small car that you ordered. Why didn't you order something?
Because this was the closest one and I'm late. I have to go.
She's totally lying about that, by the way.
If a motorcycle
Because it was the
processed, would you
cheapest.
have
That's
ordered
why
with
she
the
took
motorcycle?
it.
No, because the bike,
I get
the
it.
bag would not fit on a motorcycle.
Neither will it fit in this one.
It
This
will
is
fit.
practically a motorcycle with 4 tires.
It will fit.
No,
So
it won't
much
fit.
of this
This is a
seems
motorcycle with
like contrived.
I thought so too, but it's totally real.
No, it's for your own safety. Because
He's like explaining it way too
it's
much.
not
yeah.
safe. It's endangering the public. I didn't say anything about weight limits.
I'm gonna report
I just
you.
said
I'm going to report you.
Dude, get in the car right now. She's walked away.
There are other Ubers that can take you.
Okay.
And I will cancel.
Yeah, go ahead.
They won't penalize you. I'll cancel.
No, you're going to be penalized. I'm going to report you. You are being so rude. You're wasting my time. You took forever to get here, and now you're telling me I can't fit in this car.
No. I'm trying to save your life. Because if we have accidents in this car, now, if any more compact, imagine if we get hit from behind now, you become
if we get hit from behind.
The amount of time we're wasting with you
explaining. Have you had minced meat before? You know how minced meat is.
It's fine. Go ahead.
Go,
dude. Go.
Honestly speaking,
get out now.
He feels bad. He's clearly got a tender heart.
Cancel the order so I can call the Uber.
No, I already canceled.
I have to go. Okay, bye-bye. You're dismissed. Thank you.
I'm trying to help you.
It's okay. I don't need your help.
You see, it's still beeping.
Oh
it's
my
still
God.
beeping from all the sensors are out of work now.
Oh my God. So you're not going to stop?
No, I have to reset the sensors.
Okay.
I have to read because you said it for 2 seconds.
He's trying not to get sued.
My dashboard is saying that all the sensors are off.
I don't have time. I don't want to see.
You see, my brake alignment is off now.
Because of what? Nothing happened. Why is your brake alignment off?
Anyway, that killed me watching that.
Oh, that's the best thing.
It's so good, dude. And you could tell he was either afraid there at the end of getting sued, or he wanted her not to feel so bad. That he just kept over-explaining it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, come on, dog.
We may be winning the culture war. Google Calendar has cut Black History Month, Pride Month, and other bullshit months and holidays.
I'm down
on the calendar.
You know what killed BLM? You know what killed Black History Month? BLM.
If you'd like to hear the rest of this episode, subscribe to Broken Simulation in your podcasting app or check us out at youtube.com/SamTripoli.
We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Tinfoil hack.